over here. So perfect. Well, David,
yes.
Thank you for joining.
Super glad to be here. And you're going to teach me how to get going with live share, right? Is that what it's called, live share?
Yes. So the first thing here is that you had a blog post.
Yes.
Xamarin.Forms 3.2.0 released, going big with little things. So I figured I'd have the master come on and tell me all about what this thing is all about.
Absolutely. Well, it's, it's kind of cool in that we're able to ship a lot of these little bitty enhancements. And I say little because some of them are just a property here and a property there, to be able to customize a color or change how the keyboard interacts with an entry field. And, on the surface, they seem very inconsequential. But when it's something that's a commonly traveled path, you're needing to do these in almost every app that you build, it becomes a frustration to not have that supported right in Xamarin.Forms. And then you have to go down to the platform level, which is obviously for the people that are probably watching right now, you all know this, that it's the greatest thing about Xamarin and Xamarin.Forms is that we don't block you from doing anything at the native level, and you can go right down and create a custom renderer, or as James likes to call effects, custom renderer light, and or platform specifics. And you can always do that stuff, but at some point you're scratching your head going, why doesn't Xamarin.Forms just support this? We need to do it everywhere.
Yeah.
And so that's what we've been able to ship. So they are little changes, but they make a big impact in the productivity that you have. Even something as simple as that on-platform, on-idiom syntax by Daniel Caslino adding a little markup extension. And I had somebody on Twitter say, oh, I had that idea, before. And I'm like, well, share the rest of your ideas with us that we've been ignoring for too long, because it's those little things that, oh man, the syntax is so much more terse. It makes sense, and it's right there in the binding syntax, and it's a huge win. And really, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a change, but it makes a big difference. And so, and that kind of goes to really what our focus is. It's not on ship and shiny. It's on making a real valuable impact in what you need to be able to do as a developer day to day, so that you can deliver faster cross-platform applications and, win your boss's love and affection, essentially, or your customers or whoever it is that you're working for. So that was my quick soapbox to start off the stream.
I like it. Yeah. So I'm scrolling through here, and we'll see. I'll see how great my stream holds up. I am on, as everybody knows, amazing Comcast terrible internet. So I was able to stream for a few hours last night of some Paladin, so it was pretty good, and did a test stream this weekend. So there's a lot of little things in here. So I'm looking at the first thing. These are your release highlights. And you mentioned there's a lot of little things in here. So this one I'm super excited for, which is this title view. Can you describe that a little bit for me here?
Sure. The title view, we hear this from developers all the time, is how do I put my logo in the title space? It's really that space in the navigation bar where typically your content page's title appears. And you want to be able to either put images there, or maybe even something interactive like a button, something like that, or add bindings to what appears there. And with the default native controls, really that's just relegated to the text of the content view. But so now we have implemented this title view where you can essentially put any content view that you wish to in there. You can make it bindable, and you can also add gestures to it.
Now, this is
the one thing
to a content page, right? It's not actually to the navigation page; it's to a content page. That's cool,
right? Yeah. Well, if you look at the markup for that XAML, you'll notice that it is on the content page, but you're accessing the navigation bar through it. So, I mean, it's still really the navigation container that is responsible for doing the display and handling the layout. But you're going to do it in the content page, because that's really what the context is for where you're doing your work. Now, if your app is something where that title bar is going to stay the same across your entire app or across multiple pages, then you just refactor this out into a common view, and you can just keep including it where you need to include it. But it's very flexible, the title view, and you can put just about anything you want in there. If you need to be able to resize the navigation bar, that's fairly easily done on Android with a platform specific. If you, for example, want it to be taller than the default size, then you can do that. On iOS, it's much more difficult proposition to try to make that navigation bar higher or taller.
Okay.
So you still have some of those native platform limitations there, but I think this will solve a lot of issues that people have on a regular basis. The one thing I did want to mention about that gestures, you'll notice that in that code sample I'm using the tapped event. Commands currently are not supported, or at least not working.
Okay.
So that may be something we can fix in a service release, but it's something to be aware of right now if you try to use a command on that tap gesture recognizer or whatever gesture recognizer you decide to use there.
So how does this, does this overwrite navigation items then? Like, would it destroy my navigation items if I have, or is that what it's called? Let me go into code here. Okay, I'm going to share. That sounds good. Allow. Oh gosh. Firewall. Copy. All right. I'm going to quickly paste this in here. There we go. Everyone can see it, and then try to figure out how to join my chat. There we go. And I can, I guess, make that read only again. That's good. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. Get out of here. Okay, so I have no idea if live share will work. So if I come into this page, I'm in my, so I have this beautiful weather app. I think I've talked about the weather application a bajillion times, and you can probably see it on the screen there. So the weather application is a good example of trying to, I don't know, extend and light things up a little bit. There's nothing too crazy here. I can come in and say get weather, and it'll go and get the weather for, oh, David has joined.
I'm trying.
Oh, I can hit OK. That's nice. Wow, that's a great feature. All right, so I can say
56.21 degrees Fahrenheit, Seattle, broken clouds.
I got a follower. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
So I can go up. Thank you. Who just followed me? I like to talk to the chat a little bit here. Red October. That's Red Rock with a B and a 3 and R. So I can see the weather. I can see the forecast here. This is looking like not the worst thing in the world, right? It's definitely an app. Oh, look at that. People love Drake. So cool. So this is weather. So let's say I wanted to add a navigation item in here. So I think if I go into this weather view, how I've done this, does this work for you? Live share?
Yeah, I'm seeing your cursor.
How does this look? Can you see this tabbed page? How do you feel? Can you move your cursor?
Yep.
Holy banana.
Can I move my cursor? Yeah, let's see here.
Oh my goodness, there's David. Wow, wow. And it totally typed in the thing.
Yeah, awesome.
This is amazing. This is the most. Amoir, thanks for the follow. Wow. Do you know why this underscores like this? Do you know why this does this little blue squiggly in this bottom navigation bar? Is that just an IntelliSense issue?
It's probably an IntelliSense issue. It's not blue squiggly on my screen, though, interestingly. It looks fine over here, but it is a platform specific, and platform specifics, thankfully, it's actually gotten much improved, especially in Visual Studio 2017. Just today, I was typing in, for example, in this case, it would be tabbed page toolbar placement, and I was able to do a, control period to get the refactoring help, and it included the XML NS for me. Which was pretty awesome. Now, so interestingly, while you're typing, I don't see any code suggestions. So I only see your typing.
Oh, I see. Got it. Interesting. So I can say is swiping page enabled, and I can say true or false. But now you see it, right? Wow, that's amazing.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
That's cool. All right. So if I wanted to come in, I wouldn't probably put it on the tabbed page, correct? Would I put?
Right.
So how this is I have this wrapped inside of the tabs inside of a navigation page. So this maybe isn't the most straightforward example, perhaps, but it may be. I guess, would I put the title bar here in the content page, or would I put it in the tabs?
Yeah, you want to put it in the content page.
Okay.
And I actually tried putting it in the tabbed page. Like if you use just the default tabbed page that you get from File New.
Yeah.
And that's not the way it works.
Okay.
So you do want to do it at the content page level.
So let's put it in here, okay? And you can correct me while I go. So content page. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to update Xamarin.Forms.
Oh, yeah. What are you on?
Let's look. I have no idea. I literally just pulled this down. This is my weather. It's on my GitHub. What do I have? Updates. Let's not include pre-releases. That'd be bad news bears. I'm on 3.1.0, a very evenly or simple name, 697729. Very easy to understand.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the build number. Are you using Essentials in this app?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so the one thing that I have noticed about Essentials is it depends on a newer version of the Android support libraries. 2702.1 than the baseline for Xamarin.Forms, which is 2702. So what I end up doing as a little trick until we get NuGet to be smart enough to figure this all out is I end up removing Essentials, then updating Xamarin.Forms, and then putting Essentials right back.
Oh, okay.
Because you might get a upgrade failed when you try to go to 3.2.
Yeah, let's give it a try. This is live. This is happening. Now, I assume you can't see my NuGet or anything. What do you see on your screen?
I see your NuGet package manager right now.
No.
But I'm probably 10 seconds behind you. Well, no.
Oh, in the live
So
show.
actually, let me go back to the IDE. Okay, in the IDE, I don't. I'm looking at the Twitch stream.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay. So let's give this a try. I'm ready. I just updated everything to the latest version of Essentials. Let's just hit up. I'm going to hit install on 3.2.0. And I'm just going to see what happens. You may be right. But we did change it recently.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that.
I mean, if they were both depending on that same 27021 or whatever, then I don't think that NuGet would have a complaint about that. But I don't know about anybody else in the chat, but I hate having to update my support libraries.
Yeah, it's the bane of my existence. It's slowly updating here. It did it. It totally worked.
Oh, good.
I have, so let me see what I have installed. I have 27021. In the latest version of Essentials, we changed it a little bit, the dependency graph. So we made it synchronize a little bit more. So that might have been it. But yeah, we're totally there now. It didn't ask me to restart, so I'm excited about this.
Yeah, it may not have asked you to restart, but my recommendation is restart.
Well, I'm going to clean and rebuild. I'm going to close everything.
I mean, I know that's certainly something that we are working on improving and resolving so that you don't have to do these reboots and clear out the MS build jobs. But I don't know, man. You know, like most Xamarin developers, I just have that in the back of my head. It's like,
You think it's going to do it? Let's see. I'm excited. Well,
I do see the output panel, which is pretty cool. So I see one build succeeded on the .NET Standard project.
That's good. Everything is very blue right now. That's good. I wonder if I close a solution and reopen it.
Typically, that live share okay, so you just closed it.
Do you think I need to close the entire IDE?
I do. Yes, on Windows for sure.
Okay.
On Mac, you can actually, that is a trick on Mac. You can close the solution on Visual Studio for Mac and just reopen the solution. That's enough to kickstart those build processes that are hanging out there.
Hey, the coder. Thanks for the follow. How do you like my Deadpool tiny hands wallpaper? How do you feel about that? Tiny hands. Okay, let's boot this up. Okay, I'm excited about this. Well, if you're tuning in just now, make sure you follow, subscribe, do all that. Well, you can't subscribe yet because I'm not an affiliate. I'm on the way to becoming an affiliate one day. But yeah, make sure you get the updates. I'm really into this live streaming. I plan on building an app from scratch and having friends come on and help me because I'm not that good anymore. Back in my younger and more vulnerable years, I used to be great. It was all a dream. Wow, lots of questions here. So while we're here, yeah, support libraries are a pain. App compat pain. Turn up your mic a little bit. Yeah, I can turn up my mic. I can turn it up louder. There we go. I have it maxed out, but I will turn it up even more for people. Now it'll probably be peaking, so I won't turn it down a little bit. Let's see. Yes, we also have a clean chat on, so if you try to swear in it, it will not let you. There is a dark theme. I hate dark themes. No dark themes ever. Not allowed in my presentations. Okay, now everything is good. You are correct, David. But I need to live share again, correct?
I believe you will, yeah. Does it generate a whole new URL, or maybe I can just click the old one?
I don't know.
I'm just going to click the old one.
It says it's... No, that's not going to work. I'm going to give you a new one.
Oh, yeah, session's not active. So on that Android support library thing, I'll just mention to the people listening that we do have some things that we're working on that are within our control to be able to improve that whole experience. A lot of it does depend on the NuGet team and what they're available to help us with and what we can negotiate to get done. But from our side, we're investigating things like fat packages and whatever we can do to make that dependency tree much easier to handle, and also just update everything at once. So hopefully in sometime in the future, there will be an experience whereby you can just right click and update and everything is just magically done.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like that. All right, I'll just try to get closer to the microphone for people too. That's what probably people want, because my normal podcast, I'm like this. I'm right up in it. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, so I have a title view that actually came in perfect, which is great. I like that. So you're saying I can just put an image inside of here, and I think in this instance, in my code behind for this weather view, I have tab 1 and tab 2.png.
So you can just grab some images.
Tab 1.png, and you think that just works?
Yep, sure will.
And I can say horizontal option center. Does that sound about right?
Yes. So, and that is something else to mention right now, is that on iOS, everything is going to get centered. So that is a known issue, and in the next service release, we'll have that addressed. The other thing to know about title view is that you can generally put whatever content you want in there. However, it is not going to fill the entire space for you as you might think of when you want a fully customized navigation bar. So if you still want to fully control that puppy, then you're going to want to do a custom renderer to go edge to edge and everything that you need to be able to do. But if you're just looking to put content there, whether it's interactive, bound, or whatnot, then this is definitely what you want. Now, the other thing to mention is that what we're doing with Shell is going to give you a lot more functionality here, because we're able to take, again, a step away from the navigation paradigms of a typical Xamarin.Forms application when doing Shell. You'll have more customization there. But you mentioned, James, earlier on that, what happens to your other toolbar items, right? Your left, your right toolbar items, your back button and things like that.
Yeah.
You need to be very cognizant and aware of them. Xamarin.Forms is going to try to keep things from overlapping, but once you start throwing things like this up in that space, you kind of own it, and you need to make sure that you're not conflicting with that space and creating UX problems.
Oh, I see.
It's kind of that trade-off between, do we keep you from doing wrong and just kind of, give you the kiddie rails at the bowling lane, where your ball can't go in the gutter, or, do we give you more flexibility and customization, but you can do some harm. So I tend to be in favor of, allowing you to do whatever you need to do. And if you harm it and you kind of jack it all up, well, you're a professional coder. So, it's in your hands to do. I'd rather give you more power. It's that locus of control. It's in your hands, your destiny. So
got it. Okay, let me see if I can get this building now. I'm going to do a full clean and rebuild. Let's see. I'm also slowly trying to adjust my audio levels too. Again, I'm pretty new to this Twitch. I'm not as good as the Fritzes of the world. I'm sorry I can't be, but it's there. So you're saying, though, if I add a navigation item, as long as I don't overlap stuff, it'll still work the same?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah. So it's still the default native control navigation bar.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. So I see your build output.
How's that looking? It looks like it's doing nothing.
Well, yeah, that's the interesting thing with the live share. I don't see progress bars. So I can see your cursor. I can see the code that you're typing. I can see the output panel, which seems to update pretty frequently, but I don't get any of those, spinning icons, the build icons, the progress bars, stuff like that.
Interesting. So this is valid, though. You like... Oh, got to follow. Thanks, Mander.
Yeah.
So you like this, though. You like this... this thing that I put in here, the stack layout. Well, that's building and that's outgoing. What else do I have over here? I have, that's one thing, right? So you're saying I can put anything in here, and then Oh, some things to know. Look at that. You even put in a bunch of little things that we should be knowing, little things that I even asked about. What else we got? What is the span gesture thing?
Yeah, so span gestures, it kind of is a companion to being able to do a bindable span. So, in particular on Android, labels can be quite expensive when you have a lot of them. And so you start doing things like formatted text, which makes it much easier to reduce the amount of views that your UI needs. But then once you get inside of a label, then you're wondering, well, I need to be able to bind certain pieces of data to these things. And boy, wouldn't I love to be able to take that phone number or that web address and make that thing tappable. And so with span gestures, you're able to do just that. On the span, you now have gesture recognizers, and you can use all our different gestures that are available to you to do that. So yeah, here in the example I show, being able to go to a web URL. Now you need to style that span, which is obviously what formatted text makes easier to do. And people are saying I'm crazy loud compared to you.
I'm pulling you down. I'm pulling you down.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm just so excited. Yeah. So I was talking to some developers a couple weeks ago as I was having a conversation about Shell and Android performance. And they said that one of the better things that they've ever done is reduce the number of labels in their application and used formatted text. And that made a huge difference, in particular in their list view scrolling. So that's something that it seemed obvious as soon as they said it to me. But it's something that I've started to share with everybody since then. And of course, you can also turn on fast renderers, which reduces the number of views that get inflated on Android. But yeah, so span gestures are really useful here. Works on iOS, Android, UWP. Couple that with binding, and you are on your way to a pretty awesome app.
All right, man. I'm not seeing it. What's happening here?
Yeah, are we building? What's going on?
No, I already deployed. I deployed.
Oh, you didn't see your image?
I don't see my image. Is it because I put my entire nabbed pages inside of it?
Well, so I mean, typically the hierarchy of a tabbed navigation is that you would have your tab page as your main page, and then within each tab, you nest a content page within a navigation page. So is that not what you've done?
No. Look what I've done here. I've done wrong. I've done you wrong. I've set us up for failure. So what you're saying here is that I need to get rid of some things. Okay, I see. So you're saying I need to come in here and I need to do navigation page. Can you see this now?
I'm going back.
You're saying I need to do this?
Yes.
Okay. And then I need to do bar background color of that. And bar...
Well, you can set all that stuff on your content page.
Ooh. I'll just do it here because it's better. Let's see. So how do I put it in there? There's like a thing, right? There's like a argument.
To have a tab page. Yeah, hang on a second. I'm going to get you a code snippet.
Yep.
Oh, I guess I could.
I'm looking here. Automod parses all labels. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's x:arguments, and that's where you put your content pages.
x:arguments. Like that? You know, you can type right. You could fix this for me.
Oh, I could. What am I thinking?
Yeah, just do it for me. I don't want to code. Fix it.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
So we do this guy, then we take this, grab that.
We're learning.
Put that there. Yeah, so you don't need that one anymore, and we're just going to do the same thing for this guy.
Yeah,
I want to change the titles. Can you change the title on that first one while I finish up the second one?
Uh-huh.
Can we collaborate like that?
Yeah.
It's crazy town. What?
This awesome paired programming. Tab.
That is trippy. Okay, I'm like... All right,
yeah.
So go back to your app XAML where you're setting your main page. I actually can't. I can't save the document though.
No, I have to save it.
Now maybe I could. I don't know. Maybe you hit it at the same time I did.
I did. We're just like this. I can get rid of this, right?
Get rid of which?
There we go. Can you see that now?
Oh,
app.cs.
I actually need to manually change. Yes, correct. What did you have before? I missed it.
Oh, I had this.
Okay, yes, correct. Yeah.
I was doing it wrong. Okay. So now, and that makes sense because now each navigation thing inside the tab, and it should look exactly the same. Is live share available today? I think that's Andrew in the chat room. Yeah, it's totally available. I literally just installed it from the marketplace. Like literally, there's the community edition. This is community edition. I have
it's labeled as a preview, but seems to be working quite well.
Yeah, community edition right there. I'm not even on the latest either. I'm on one before. All right, cool. So in a world where David tells me that it works and it works.
All right. Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, there it is.
I'll wait the requisite 10 seconds on the Twitch stream to see it happen.
Whoa. It's totally happening. It's great because, yeah, even though we're recording in real time together, it's actually there. There it is. You see that?
No.
No, he's waiting.
I'm waiting.
Applying.
I'm waiting. Ah!
Is there?
I saw something pop up, but I didn't see your image.
Now, this is probably the best way to do navigation, right? Right? It's there. It's totally there. I love it. Yeah. So there we go. I have an icon. I can put anything in there now. This makes it so much easier. Yeah. In fact, I want to bring attention here. I'll tell you this much. On my blog, montemagno.com, I don't know if you've heard of it. I used to have, why this is important, is I used to have this blog post from July. It was called Icons in Navigation Toolbar. Okay. And I had a post how you had to do, you would set the, what is it? You would set the title icon. Yeah. And on Android, you'd have to go into the toolbar and set an image view inside of it, but it was throughout your entire application. It was no good, right? And this is about 1,000 times better.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So this should make your life a whole lot easier for doing something as simple as this. Yeah.
I love it. How do we do one of these spans things? Okay, so I'm going to go into the weather view, and let's say I wanted to change this label. Okay, you see this? I'm going to bring it down. This label, use GPS. But what I want to have happen here is I want to say use GPS, and when I tap on GPS, launch a website for Xamarin Essentials. That's something I can do now, basically.
Yes.
Before
for the thing to update.
Before I would have to like create a stack layout, stack multiple things side by side. Now you're saying I don't have to.
Correct.
Yeah. Do you see the weatherview.xaml?
I had to open it myself, which is, kind of a drag, but maybe that's just a learning curve. Yes, I do see it. Oh, I also do not see your. Are your CS files nested below your XAML, or are they side by side?
They're nested.
Okay, so yeah, it's just not showing up that way over here.
Oh, funny.
Just curious. All right, so so you've got a label with use GPS. So you're going to take the content that's in your switch and you want to embed that in the label. Is that what you want to do?
No, I want to make this say use GPS, this text right here, but yep. I want it to be the new feature where I could tap on GPS and then go to the Xamarin Essentials documentation. You can do that?
I can. Yes. You want me to do it?
Yeah. You know the features better than I do. I don't know. Look at this. Look at this magic. That way I can read the chat here.
Yeah, you talk to the folks.
Talking to the folks. Some good questions around string interpolation performance in mono. I don't know about that. I would have to ask Miguel and the runtime team. They're always making optimizations. Let's see. People are excited for Shell. I'm excited for Shell 2. I can't wait for it to come out. It's like a learning curve, but I hope that it's not too bad. We'll see. We shall see. All right, what else do we have here? Wow, look at this. I just love that you can type, and I'm just going to sit back and chill.
Yeah, I don't get IntelliSense help, though, so I am really needing to be a true programmer here. This is...
Wow. This is great. Oh, that is interesting. You don't get IntelliSense. I think you get debugger support and stuff. Someone was playing Madden football. I don't play any sports balls. Doesn't MWAR says, oh yeah, live share doesn't work on VS for Mac, only code. Now what's interesting is you could are you in code or VS 2017?
I'm in 2017.
Okay, because you could do this in code, and we could collaborate across VS 2017 and code. So even if you were on a Mac, you could still do it, right? Do the GPS
that ought
thing.
to work. Yeah.
Do you have to do a binding to that tapped at all, or how's that work?
Nope. So this is just using the event, the event handler. So you will need to generate a event handler in the background, right? Yeah. Did I get that wrong? Formatted text.
I don't know. It says property formatted text does
so
not
I think
have
this needs
span.
to be a text. Oh, not test. Text. Everybody's shouting from the chat, right? He's typing it wrong. Something like that. I don't know. See, without the IntelliSense help, I'm just flying blind. So something like that. What does my code sample look like?
I could have just copied and pasted this. This says, in a world where I read yours, it says, yeah, formatted. Oh, you need to put it in a formatted string. Like, I'll do that for you. I'll fix your code, buddy. Don't worry. I got you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so we want to do, let's also make that text color.
Yep. I'll grab the gesture recognizer.
Yeah, I'm sure I jacked that up.
Let's do this here. Boom, tap gesture recognizer.
Yeah,
Tap,
so I don't know if you want to see. You can do the command thing if you want to. You'll need to copy that command code over there. And
that looks good. All right. And, so I need, there's a command. So I just need to go into my view model, weather view model, and I can create a command. I can do that. I command, and I'll say, what is it? Tap command?
Tap command, singular. Yep.
Tap command.
Yeah,
All right.
So I actually can save files, by the way. I was able to save the sample file while you're working in the view model. So we can be working in different files, apparently.
That's cool. All right, so I need to create a constructor for this bad boy. So I'll say public weather view model, and then I will assign this to a new command. And we have essentials, so I could do.
Oh yeah.
I'll do that. Well, this doesn't even have Chrome custom tabs, but that's okay.
I love essentials.
Wait, and I can say browser dot. Oh, this is it takes in a string, huh? A string.
It's taking, in this particular case, yeah, it's passing a URL to the command so that it can launch that in the browser. But if you're going to do GPS, you can do something diff.
Open async, that, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so yeah, so now I have a tap command, takes in that, it's an I command. All right, cool. Let's see if I can just relaunch it, and that should just work, I hope. Let's see. So now you made it blue here, which makes sense. You could probably, do we have underline support? Is that a thing that works?
Underline is not there yet. It is, we have either a PR or a open enhancement request for it. I would have to go back and check the status on that. You know, we are, in terms of all the other little things that are still hanging out there and we will continue to work on, we have a really strong concerted effort now with a release manager on the team who makes sure that all the PRs are being assigned. My hope is that, and the team's hope is that, we'll be much more on top of PRs as they get pushed through to make sure that they get quickly reviewed, like within a few days. Because it's a real drag, right? When you make a big contribution or a small contribution and you don't hear anything for a month, that's just not cool. It's not acceptable. And it also makes it stale. Then you have to rebase it and you don't quite know what the feedback is. And I mean, heck, I can't remember some of what I did yesterday. And if I lose a couple hours in between, I'm like, I got to reboot my brain, you know, and get back to what I was doing. And, you know, how much more is that for the community contributors who are trying to help us out on these things? So hopefully we'll see some of that positive impact in our community collaboration on these things in the coming days and weeks. And maybe you've already noticed it because it's been going on for a week or two.
I like that. Oh, you know what I did?
Did it not work?
No, it did. You know why it didn't work? Is because I didn't make it public.
Oh, your command?
Silly James. You know, that's always a fun part where I'm just like, oh, why doesn't it work? Oh, because you didn't make it public. Because you didn't make it public. Because you're silly. You know, I don't know why I put it all the way at the bottom. I put it down on line 83 of my weather view model, but.
Yeah, what's the way to do this? I mean, I used to think that all your public stuff needs to be at the top. Is that still the going recommendation for how you structure your code? Anybody in the chat want to tell me how to do it?
So I'm different. So I'll tell you this much. I used to be in the world where you put like all your private things up top. So your string location, use GPS. With MVVM, if you go into my weather view model in there, I mean, that location is so pertinent to the location and use GPS. So I kind of bundle them together.
Yeah.
So I should probably put the commands up top and a few other things, but I don't know. I think that each company probably has their own best practices and whatnot, but oh man, we have some new follows. I didn't even hear it. I don't know why, but so Bars 43, thanks for the follow. Mander 2. I love people that have random numbers in their name. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's see if this works.
So are these follows happening on Twitter or are they happening on Twitch?
They're happening on Twitch. So you follow the Twitch chat and then a little Drake comes up and Drake will tell you
I saw the Drake coming up. I thought that was, now is that something you did or is that just the way that Twitch works?
No, I have. So I use something called Streamlabs, and Streamlabs, you have these integrations and widget boxes. So when Drake comes up, I've programmed that to come in basically. So I can go in and for every single one of them, I have a different thing and a different audio level. So I can actually make that a little bit louder. So like I can do a test, right? So I can come in and I can do test widget. I can say follow. And then you'll see that in a few seconds where Drake comes up and he's like, hey guys. So, and then it like is always, it's always listening, right? And it's just like, hey, it's cool. And then, yeah, that's it. And then eventually if I get subscribers, donations, and people host me, then that works too. So look at this. It totally works. Look at that.
Sweet.
Just once, Chrome, boom, Chrome custom tabs. That's the power. That's the power. I didn't do it to the actual GPS, but that works. Look at that. Ooh, look at that optimized web page. I think this is a really terrible emulator, by the way. It has really terrible resolutions. I'm sure you've noticed.
Yeah. That looks okay over here.
All right, David, what else do we have? What's next?
Good question. So, well, we didn't really take a look yet at the on-platform stuff, but
I have that somewhere.
Do you have that in your app here somewhere?
Ooh, go into the forecast view.xaml.
All right.
Because I'm curious if on line 14 this will work. Separator color.
Ooh. All right, let's try. So if we do separator color, of course I have no IntelliSense support. But if we do this and just thinking on platform, and then we do iOS equals transparent. Hello, typing.
Ooh, thanks for the follow, Andrew. Appreciate that. Coming in with that Drake pop-up. What up, Jersey? It has put in so many things for you. There you go.
Thank you. So I think that'll just work as it is, and you can put a default value on it if you want a default value. Oh, we don't need those quotes around transparent, or do we? That's funny because I've only really been doing numbers. I haven't been doing values like that.
Let's see. I'm looking, and it says no.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder if I can tell. I'm very curious. And then how do I separate? So you just put a colon, you just put a semicolon there. Default. And then I guess it would be like gray, red. Okay, red, that works.
Well, I mean, just so we can see something is what I was thinking.
So I get no IntelliSense in here though.
Are you getting IntelliSense?
Well, so let me do something like row height, right? And I could do on platform. So I see row height. I'm just right above it. I see that. Yeah. I see iOS, and then I could do 55, I guess. And oh wow, that actually totally works. There's converters. Wow, that works. I think what I don't get is wow, that's crazy that just works out of the box. I don't get color IntelliSense, right? But I don't think I got that before. Okay. So it's like it doesn't say red.
May not.
But that's okay.
Oh, like if Yeah, I can't do any IntelliSense related things here, so
that's okay.
See if this compiles and runs.
I'm excited.
You have XAML-C turned on, of course?
Of course. It's right here. Boom. Right in my app.cs. Yeah, this is so much nicer. Everything about what you just did is so much prettier. I mean, because it's so verbose. I mean, that's always the only thing with XAML sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's see if the chat's saying anyway. Last year I've been able to go in the little things, really enjoying it, aligning stuff. I really enjoy your series, your blog series, and also the content you're creating, not only for the blog, but the sample app. So I'll kind of make point to that here while this is compiling and running, is you have a sample little things playground, right?
Yeah.
That you talk about all the time. You can sample all these things, all the different versions. It's very nice.
Yeah, I've got some ideas for enhancing that as well, and maybe people could tell me if they would find it useful. One of the things that I used on other platforms in the past was like a gallery app like that, but you could hit a button right next to the sample in the app and view the markup for it. So I had written that a while back where I could actually dynamically read using reflection the XAML, and then display that in a separate view, just kind of slide up over the top of what you're working on. So I don't know if that would be useful to people. Of course, you have the code from GitHub and you can just go look at it, but sometimes it's nice to just flip back and forth maybe to see that code. Someone
asked what they said XAML CS, but we meant XAML C. Maybe you can describe what that is for anyone new.
Right. So XAML-C is compiled XAML, and it's an option that you can turn on at the assembly level or at the page level of your application, and you can also choose to skip. But essentially what it's going to do is it's going to generate the IL, the interpreted language, I believe is what IL stands for. Somebody can correct me because I probably just said that. But it's going to do that compilation up front as opposed to at runtime. So you get that quick validation on your XAML right away without having to wait for the app to be running and then blow up in your face. But also there are performance implications for you. So your app will run faster, your transitions will be faster, and things like that.
Faster, harder. Wow, look, it's red. Wow. I see it. You don't see it, but I see it. Yeah, that totally works.
I will see something in about, I think I'm probably 30 seconds behind you at this point on the browser.
Wow, that's crazy. Makes sense. Well, let me just tell you that it's red. It's totally working. Everything is working. Look at how great that is. That's pretty much amazing. Boom.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, Luce is here. Thanks, Luce. Hey, Luce. Thanks. Next Steps for the follow. I appreciate that. It's actually really weird when you Twitch stream because we can see and hear each other in real time, but then there's a delay when you see it, and there's like a chat delay, all that stuff. Everyone wants to know when Shell is expected to release because you've teased it for so long, David. What is happening with the Shell?
Well, yeah. Well, the reason it's been teased and will continue to be somewhat teased for a while, it's just a lot to be done.
Yeah.
We're and again, I mentioned this earlier, we're not about shipping the shiny stuff. We're about shipping what's actually going to make a meaningful impact and make your app development better, but also help you to achieve more with what you're doing today without all the effort. So there are a lot of things that Shell is allowing us to introduce in terms of supporting new UX patterns, especially around material design related things, transitions between views, hero animations, things like that, as well as just making it really dead simple to set up the architecture, the navigation flow of your application. So what is out there right now, if you go up to my GitHub, it's the Gastropods repository. It has a very early version of the NuGet package for Shell there. And you can go explore that, and you'll get a flavor for the API of how you describe things. Of course, there's no documentation. So if you want to go figure out how do I make X, Y, Z happen, you got to go read the source code or nag myself. And I'll then go nag somebody else and figure it out. But there's just a lot more yet to be done. So look for a more substantial public preview later in the year, before the end of the year for sure. And then as we ship that, we're also having lots of conversations with you, the developers who are using this stuff, to find out, are we on the right track? We want to always have those check-ins to make sure that we're not going down the wrong road, shipping something that's not going to be useful to people. And I always recognize that not everybody is going to be like, this is what we need. But we want to make sure we're hitting the majority and we're solving real needs. So There will be more one-on-one conversations. I had a round 2 weeks ago where I talked to about 15 or more developers at companies about how they're using Xamarin.Forms and where Shell may or may not fit into their needs and what problems it would solve for them. So we have some really good feedback from that, and I'll continue to do that. So if anybody is super interested, make sure you shoot me an email, and I'll add you to that round, the next round of customer conversations, and make sure that we get you involved, because we really do need you involved to make sure that we're on the right track. But the next milestone, like I said, later this year we'll have a big public preview. At that point, I mean, it's fairly useful now. I'm using it in apps that I'm messing around with and building. I'm not shipping it, so there's a big distinction there. But it's fairly stable in terms of its core API, and we don't think that is going to change. But if it needs to change, if things are not named well and don't make sense and things like that, that's the kind of feedback we absolutely need.
Nice. I think about every single person has asked that, so that's a good explanation of when it's coming. And even me, I'm asking for changes all the time that Jason doesn't like, and that's okay. Now, do you have a hard stop? Do you have any hard stops coming up?
I do. I actually have. I'm looking at my calendar right now. I am about to go have an actual Shell discussion.
Boom! It's happening
with the maintainers of Prism. I don't mind telling you. And we're going to talk about how Shell and Prism, what we need to know, right? So that when it comes time to make sure everything's compatible, that we're good to go. And I will be having similar conversations with MVVM Cross. And at some point, I will also be reaching out to any of the other framework developers to make sure that we're playing nice with the community. So if you happen to be one of those or know one of those, and I have not mentioned them, have them reach out to me, because I want to make sure that we have those channels of communication open.
Ah, got it. Very cool. All right. Well, I guess I'll let you go.
All right, man.
Buddy, I will let you go. I will. I appreciate you joining me, working through some audio issues. Now, I'm going to stay on for about another half an hour or so. I'm going to explore some of these other features that are inside of 3.2.0. Of course, you can find, David, where can people find you at?
Twitter, David Ortinau, or my email is david.ortinau, O-R-T-I-N-A-U. Basically exactly what you see in the chat here at Microsoft.com. So hit me up anytime. This is awesome. We should definitely do this more. And again,
yeah, I'm going to not only do this more, but I'm going to get you on the Xamarin show talking about 3.2.0, some of the stuff we showed off, it'd be really, we do this and it's not the most professional setup with little audio questions, issues, things like that. I'm still learning, but it's been fun. So we'll have a great day, David, and I'll see you on the Slack attack in about an hour or two. Okay.
All right.
Hi.
See ya.
See you, buddy. All right, so let's go ahead and get David off of here. Let me see if I can go into the editor. Oh, I actually have a button for this. Boop. There we go. Perfect. Well, thanks everyone for joining on. We're in here. David's in there. Will this be recorded? Yes. Great question. So I did not play any music for this recording. For this live stream, and I did that because last time I did some background music and then Nintendo got very upset because I was playing Legend of Zelda music, and that was no good. So I have now not put any music or anything like that on here, so I should be able to export this to YouTube. That was my plan when doing this, so it should be good. Okay, so what else can I do here? Ooh, so there's a few new things inside of this, in this puppy. So I'm going to go into my weather view again, and feel free to ask questions and things like that in the chat. I'm going to go in, and I have this is kind of like my default weather app that does a bunch of stuff. Now, there is this get weather over here. I'm just going to show off some features here just so we have it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of this into a scroll view over here. And let's go ahead, because this app is like really small, actually, this emulator. And I'll just reformat. Ba-doom. Now, there is this button. One of the new things that they actually did, which is very cool, is they added padding inside of the button, which is cool. So, oh, if you have recommendation for music, by the way, let me know. I tried the YouTube music, but it was all terrible music, so I hated it. So I'm just here about myself now. So now inside of here, look at that. You have padding. There's padding right inside of it. So if for some reason I want, crazy padding, or if I want, ooh, does this work? On platform Android. I think here I just do 50. Does that work? Oh, I don't know how that works with the padding, but I guess I could do like 50 and then I could do iOS 10, default 0, boom. Then I can actually add padding inside the button. I want to see what this looks like because this is kind of ridiculous if so. But I think this is my new favorite, definitely new favorite padding things. If you're working with this, this is probably by far the best thing I've ever seen inside here. So let's see if we can get this button and this padding thing working between the different platforms. And feel free to definitely leave some info in the chat. There we go. Look at that. Look at that button with padding. Wow. So big. Much padding. Much wow. You can tap on this button now. We also showed this off, which is cool, being able to launch stuff. And wow, look at that button. Look at that. Look at that go. That's great. Yeah, what I also appreciate too is not only that is there's broken clouds out there today, that's for sure. So there's that. But yeah, we have that going on there. What else do we have? There's an editor, color, new button padding. I think that also they added all sorts of things for, they added some new bindings too. So I think here, if I went in here, I could actually do like a binding here to something too. Like if I wanted this to be something else, you could do that, which would be pretty crazy. I like that. Let's see, use. What else do they have? On platform XAML extensions get started. David Ortinau. All right, now we get into documentation. So I want to see what else they didn't tell us. That's what I like to do. Ooh, so it looks like here you can go through the release notes, by the way, for all of Xamarin.Forms. You can get really into the different things that they did. So entry, position, and color of caret. Ooh. Ooh. How do I do that? Controlling caret position and color on iOS. Entry, cursor position, cursor color. Huh. I don't know why they didn't do Android. That's a platform specific binding for cursor color. Selection length. I'm not sure. This PR adds support for getting and setting caret position on it. So I guess that's interesting. You could set the position to and from when you tap on it or do other things. I'm not intrigued on that one fully, but I guess you could come here and you could say XM, LNS, iOS, platform specifics. Then I think here on my entry, I could do iOS and then entry dot adjust fonts with width. I don't know. That one's there. Let's see what the documentation says. Cursor color. Should be able to do that. Let me see if it does it. iOS entry dot cursor color red. Let's see if this compiles. Let's see if it does it or not. My assumption is that should work. Sometimes these platform specifics have a little bit of oddities inside of it, but I guess if I did that, then the cursor itself would be red, which would be interesting. That should totally work as far as what I'm seeing inside of this build. If that works. Yeah, iOS specific. They have this here. Should we have a converter, cursor color, selection change, value, bind test, selection? There's so many things that go deep on this, but yeah, that should totally work. All right, that's one. What else do we got? Ooh, what? How did he not talk about this? Rounded corners on a box view. What? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have to do this. We can't not leave this out. Box view. And let's make this width 44, height 44. And I'm going to make the background red. Is there a border? No, there's not a border. There's only a color. Background color. Yeah, color, background color. Color, background color. Why is there two? Background color. Oh, color. I think I want red and then blue. Just make it this. Here we go. I'm just going to try to find it. Radius? Oh my goodness. I don't know what it would be. 22, is that half? 10? I don't know. 10? Let's do 10. I don't know. What is it doing? Why is it, what is it compiling right now? Stop your build. I don't even know what it's building. There we go. Build canceled. So box view is great. But the problem with box view is it's only a box. You can't do rounded corners on it. So there's two open issues here. Ooh. Corner radius. Bottom left. So you can do left, right, top left, right, up, down. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love when there's these things too. Look at this. Oh, there's radiuses. So good. Come on. Oh. Okay, so it just did that thing, but how come it didn't do? Oh, please hold. I think I need to do center. And then that should give me, see, it's filling everything by default. That's silly. That's silly. You don't want to do that. Lots of good stuff. Lots of good. What's this? Add quarter. Oh, that's the box view. Whoa. I like that test. Look at that test. That's fancy. So if I was using a box view, this would be much more impressive because I would actually be using this. Well, Jim, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Now, I guess what's intriguing here is how do I make it a circle? You know, I want to make it a full circle. That's what I really want to do here. So that's a corner radius, but ideally I would like to make a circle, a full circle. And normally how you do that is if I look at my github.com/James Montemagno, and if I look at my circle image plugin, normally how we do this is you go in and you say implementation. Oops, that's the app. Image circle, iOS, render. You would normally say, yeah, you take the corner radius and you say the minimum divided by 2. So if it's 44, you know, divided by 2, that should be total. So I'm kind of interested as to how they did this and how come my build won't. Every once in a while, I just got to cancel this build and then redo it, and it seems to work. I will mark that down. Thanks for the recommendation here for music. I do like music. So I'm going to write this down. Shemendo.net.com. I'll give that a look because I'm always looking for more music. Okay, that's the one thing that's always bugged me is I don't have good music for the stream. And now it's just me talking, and it's not as cool because, you know, Dave is not here anymore. So there's that. Oh, I have the whole afternoon open, which is great. Just should be building and then deploying. I would really like to make this a whole circle. That's what I would like. I don't know if it's going to do it because I said 22 and that should be it. Height request 44, width request 44. In a world. Oh, closer. I wonder if I just have to make it 44. I don't know why I would. Oh, I made it 44. Interesting. 88. I'm just kind of curious, how do I make it a full circle? Because I guess in my code, minimum, maybe because there's like mask to bounds and clip to bounds and all these other things. Well, that's the corner radius. I'm very intrigued why it's different. Maybe it's not actually being 44 by 44, but it should be. It should be. For some reason, every once in a while, I have to control break this thing. Hope everyone's having an amazing Tuesday. I'm just kind of doing my thing now. That was really crazy. I got David in like last minute to actually come in and hang out, which was pretty cool. He thought I was going to do it tomorrow, but I was like, yesterday. You said tomorrow. All right, so let's see here. So 712. Is it a circle? It is a perfect circle. Boom. Okay, so for some reason, it is actually the corner radius times 2 for some reason. So now I have this beautiful circle. Look at that. Look at that. What do you know? What do you know? I do like that. And the cool thing here is I'm pretty sure inside of the box view, you can put something. So if I put in a, I don't know what you'd put inside of here. Can you put anything inside of here? I guess you could just do it. An image. Source. Say height request 100. Wait, can I put something inside of it? Oh, box view does not support direct content. All right, I can't do that. I lied. I thought box view you could. Anyways, so well, now you have a perfect circle, so that's cool. I want to be able to put stuff inside of it. I think that's something that will happen at some point in the future. What else do we have inside of this thing? Release notes. Playing around with 3.2.0. All right, so label line height. Okay. Enhancement, add fallback value and target null for binding base. Editor, placeholder color. That was something also that they were talking about. Some CSS stuff, markup extensions, create a bindable property with enum backing. That's a bug fix. Notable changes. Position and color of caret, padding on buttons, title view, rounded corners, padding on buttons. All right, I think we basically have everything here that we did for 3.2.0. Those are the big ones, it looks like, that I can tell. Add line height. Oh, so you can have different line heights. That's cool. So if I do, where's my weather view at again? Weather view, label. Down here, I say height, line height, 66. So I can set the line height there. Oh, can you do it on a span? Whoa. And I can say, I'm just getting crazy with this, right? So let's see what happens here if I just do something like this and set the line height. So that's kind of cool if you have different line heights that you need inside of it and you can kind of mess around with that. That'd be pretty cool, I would say. Different line heights as you stack them up across the different platforms. See, sometimes these are just like little bits that you kind of forget about. So editor check. Oh, editor placeholder. That's nice. Like that. It's a nice little one that we have there. Missing UWP implementation, so you can have some stuff. That was one thing I always missed too, was the ability to put something in the code behind there. I think I'm on like an older version where there's this bug, but come on. There we go. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. I'm just over here just messing around. Let's see if we got anything else going on in the chat. It's going well. People are still tuned in, still enjoying watching me hang out. This will be recorded. I'll export this to YouTube so you can see it over there on the YouTubes as well, which is cool. Yeah. I like how people enjoy the stream. That's good. Some good tweets. Oh, that's cool. So I don't know if that actually adjusted the line height or not, but it looks like it's a little bit different as you kind of go. I do like that perfect circle there. That's cool. All right. Well, I think that's going to probably do it. I might end the stream a little bit early, but I hope everyone had a really fun time chatting with David, hanging out. I appreciate the follows. I do plan on using this stream for a few different things. So not only for live coding like this, but also gaming like I did last night, and also maybe even doing some live podcast recordings. But I think that's going to do it. I appreciate everyone tuning in, hanging out on a Tuesday afternoon or late night for some people. So I think that's going to do it over here. I'm going to go ahead and tune out, and I'm going to see if this thing works. Let's go ahead and give it a go over here and see if my credits work. Maybe. We shall see. Oh, credits be rolling. Look at it roll. Let's see if it works. Get some followers. There we go. Thanks everyone for the follows. I appreciate that. I'll hang out for a little bit more, just chatting it up, but I appreciate everyone hanging out. I'm trying to get to the affiliate status, get some subscribers, things like that. And then I will be donating everything on my stream to charity that I do. But yeah, that's it. Appreciate all the new followers. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you have an amazing week, and I will try to keep my schedule up to date. I'll be at Ignite in Orlando next week, so check me out there if you're in town down there for Ignite. But that's it. Have an amazing day, and thanks for tuning in. Cheers.